Okay, great. All right, I'm going to call to order the April 21st, 2026 regular meeting of the Cook County Grand Marais Joint Economic Development Authority to order at 4 p.m. And commissioners present are Clissold, Mills, Bibi Gudice, Shackleton, Benson, and joining us remotely today is Commissioner Anderson. So as such, we'll do all votes via roll call. Before we get into the meeting material itself, what I would like to do is provide a very warm welcome to our new Executive Director, Lucas Wakefield. I think many of you met Lucas in the last couple of weeks, but Lucas comes to us from Bemidji. In fact, he was the Economic Development Director in Staples, Minnesota for the past couple of years, has a deep economic development background. He is a graduate of both the University of North Dakota and Georgetown University. And any comments you wish to make, Lucas?
I'm so thrilled and excited to be here. I have managed to meet one-on-one with everyone except for Siri, and I certainly hope that I will get the chance to meet with you one-on-one in the near future. And I can just tell already that there is such a deep passion for this community, this county, and I just am going to be so excited to add my voice to the choir and see if we can move things forward. So, huge pleasure to be here, and I look forward to working with all of you. Thanks.
Well, no one is as happy as I am that we've got another executive director, so welcome. This is fantastic. And thank you to the hiring committee for finding such a terrific individual. Okay, first item is approval of the agenda itself. So the agenda was provided to commissioners in advance of the meeting. Is there a request for any additions or changes to the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, we'll do a roll call. Benson?
Yes.
Mills?
Aye.
Shackleton?
Aye.
Bibi Gudice?
Aye.
Anderson?
I say aye, and I'd also just want to make a request, make sure everyone has their microphones on. Thanks.
And Clissold is an aye. All right, agenda is approved. If there's any members of the public that wish to speak to items not on today's agenda, please state your name for the public record and join us at the table up front, or I believe we've got a member of the community online. Anyone in the audience that wishes to speak? No. Okay. Sir, please state your name, and you have the floor. The gentleman online on the Zoom call, please go ahead and state your name, and you have the floor.
I don't know if you can hear. Lee Anderson, do you want to talk now?
Yes, I do. Thank you. Am I okay to go?
Yes, please.
Okay, I want to thank you for having me. I sure appreciate what you are all doing for Cook County. I'm a resident of Cook County. I live on Cascade Beach Road. My idea is through eminent domain, the DEA would buy the Lutzen Lodge property. That includes all of the land up to the highway. The new lodge would be put on top of the hill rather than where it was, where it would be put up where the wood is stacked, employees' housing, and employee cars are currently located. The lodge would have all the glass looking at the lake with large deck and rental rooms and restaurants, etc. Very much similar to the lodge down below, but it would be up above. The lower half of the property would be a public park, and the naming rights for that park would be reserved and could be of value. It would have a weather shelter, area for swings, etc., picnic tables, and parking. The motto of this project if you allow me, would be SOS, Save Our Shores. I expect this would take 4 to 5 years as a project, would require a lot of legal work, and it would require the sale of the upper property to a developer. We would need a leader on this. DEA would be perfect. It would benefit Cook County and the residents, and it would also bring in tax dollars for the county. And it would also, frankly, keep the septic system for the large lodge up above and not down near close to the river. I've run this idea by 2 people, Mike Larson and Jenny Stoley. And I heard from one of them who said, I've seen a lot of proposals for this land, but never this one. And so my hope is that you would consider taking this on, as I want to preserve the land for another what are we celebrating? 250 years? We'd celebrate it. We would put it in the use of the county residents and guests for another 250 years. That's it. If you have any questions, I'd love to have them, but I'm sorry this is so rough, but I hope it expresses my desire to save that land for not only a lodge, but also for the public's use, which it has been available for years. I used to smelt fish in front of this lodge. I've caught steelhead in front of this lodge. And I've lost some very nice other fish in front of this lodge. So that's it. Any questions? I'd love to have.
Well, thank you very much for the well thought out and well delivered comments. Are there any questions or comments from our side? Nope. Great. Again, thank you very much. Are there any other public comments? All right, seeing none. We'll move on to approval of the minutes. The minutes of the regular March 17th, 2026 meeting were provided in the agenda in pages 1 through 4, I believe. Any changes to the minutes that you wish to see reflected? Is there a motion to approve the March 17th, 2026?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Thank you. We'll do a roll call. Benson?
Aye.
Mills?
Aye.
Shackleton?
Aye.
Bibi Gudice?
Aye.
Anderson?
Aye.
I heard an aye, and Clissold is an aye. Okay. The next item is the EDA and Superior National financials. Those were also included in the agenda packet, starting on page 5 through 11. And that's inclusive of the 2025 and 2026 Business Development Grant Fund reports. I'll turn it over to Treasurer Shackleton for any updates.
The financials for March look in line with budget expectations and normal operating costs. One thing of note is that the request for a $200,000 loan, bridge loan from the county has reached the bank account. It's not reflected in the March 31st statement, but it's here, so we have those funds available to use. And the golf course operations, they closed down after the basketball tournament, and so the clubhouse is not operating right now the month of April. They are gearing up for the golf season. There's an expectation to open up the golf course first week of May, and so they'll starting that preparation now for that. Probably end up giving them some operational funds by that first week of May as well to get them hopefully to a closing date of the sale.
Great. Any questions for Commissioner Shackleton? We'll talk a little bit further about the sale of the golf course later in the meeting. All right, so EDA Commissioners accept and forward to audit the balance sheet as of March the 31st, 2026 for both the EDA and Superior National. Is there a motion to approve the March 2026 payments?
I'll motion to approve.
Thank you. Seconds?
Second.
Appreciate that. We'll do a roll call. Benson,
Aye.
Mills,
Aye.
Shackleton,
Aye.
BB Gudiche,
Aye.
Anderson,
Aye.
and Clissold is an aye. Okay, that takes us to our new business, starting on page 12 of the packet. And this is consideration of resolution 2026-11, somewhat administrative. This authorizes the EDA's new executive director to be added as an authorized signatory at both Grand Marais State Bank and North Shore Credit Union to support day-to-day administration, including things like deposits and check requests. And this is consistent with the EDA's established procurement policy and also past practice. Any questions or concerns?
Make a motion to pass resolution 2026-11.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Okay. Then we'll do a roll call. Benson,
Aye.
Mills,
Aye.
Shackleton,
Aye.
BB Gudiche,
Aye.
Anderson,
Aye.
and Clissold is an aye. Okay, thank you. Next up is 2026-12, also administrative. This is on pages 29 and 30 of the packet. This is in consideration of, as I say, 2026-12, authorizing Lucas Wakefield to obtain a corporate credit card to carry out day-to-day administration and/or traveling and training expenses. Many routine expenses like the EDA cell phone are linked to this corporate credit card. So again, as we get Lucas up to speed, is there a motion to approve Resolution 2026-12?
So moved.
Okay, second.
Second.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll do a roll call vote. Benson,
Aye.
Mills,
Aye.
Shackleton,
Aye.
BB Gudiche,
Aye.
Anderson. I saw an aye. I didn't hear it. Clissold is also an aye. Okay. All right, taking us then to 2026-13, and this is regarding a first amendment to the 2025 Business Development Fund Grant Agreement with Scruffy Dog Vintage Emporium LLC. This $25,000 grant was approved at the May 2025 EDA meeting, and the contract was subsequently executed on August the 21st, 2025. The existing agreement has a completion deadline of June the 1st, 2026. And as you may or may not recall, an additional requirement that the grantee demonstrate that at least one of the two retail spaces are under lease by April the 30th, 2026. Annette Block Valdivia, did I say that right? Okay, good. Submitted a written request to the EDA board to extend both deadlines to July the 15th, 2026, due to some delays with weather and lining up contractors. So the grantee has submitted one reimbursement request to date and completed some of the roof repairs. So the remaining grant balance is $19,000 out of the 25, with a required match of $4,250. While the grant agreement allows EDA staff to extend the completion date 60 days without board approval, a change to the lease requirement does require board approval. And Annette, you've joined us. Perhaps you could join us at the front table in case there's any questions or if there's anything that you wish to add. Any questions for Annette?
Okay, just a quick one. All good with the extensions. I just wanted to check in and see where you're at, just big picture, with the project and
Okay.
where you're at and where you hope to go in the next
Yeah.
couple months.
Well, we are trying very hard to get the temperature to cooperate because it needs to be a certain temperature in order to get that foam insulation in. And that's the holdup right now. So the main part of the garage roof is done. That was done last fall. We just got it in so that it didn't, rain in the garage. So this last big storm that came through, I went out there and it was like, it's not raining in the garage. So that was really exciting for me, because it used to be a downpour in there. But, once that foam insulation is in there, then we can do a lot of the other things, but it needs to happen. And then what I need to do is move the things that are over in that other front retail space to the garage so we can do that portion. I am having, space issues because I haven't been able to utilize the garage. So it's a big shuffle of items and vintage things, and that's the problem. So, and once we can get the garage done, then we can actually move on with the rest. And I apologize. It's been very stressful.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments?
Just, go ahead.
Yes, and where are you at with the retail tenant possibilities?
Well, it's hard to have somebody look at the spaces that they're currently the way they are and go, yeah, I can see myself here. And that's the problem. I had some feelers out last fall, but at this point, things are just kind of stuck. But I think that once it's done, I think the garage part, I can have people in there probably right away for pop-up businesses or whatever. It's the other part too that I want to have done so somebody can actually have a little retail place in there.
Right.
But that will require the electrical upgrade, and the electrical upgrade needs to wait until the foam insulation is in.
Okay.
So you can see how we're moving the parts.
Right. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Just got one more. Just, so I looked at your memo, and the one thing that did just catch my attention was there's some uncertainty about a definitive completion date. So with the extension to the 15th, is that like a locked in, ready to roll, everything done by the 15th?
I am really, we're going to push. We're going to push. And as it is, we're talking to the, my contractor knows who the name of the foam insulation guy is. We're talking to him and seeing if we can't figure out a way to get at least a heater in there so that we can do that. So, we are playing games with the weather at this point and the temperature. But it looks like it's supposed to warm up enough. I don't want to extend this any further. I didn't want to extend it at all. It's making me really nervous and stressed, and I want to be able to have the garage and the other retail space for what was intended. So that it's not a benefit to me at all to continue to postpone or lengthen this deadline. I actually am very sad by it, and it's causing me great anguish. So, we're gonna push to the 15th of July, pardon me, if you guys will agree to that. Yeah. I don't foresee any reason at this point that I would have to push it back, but I can't control the situation as it is.
No, I totally.
wish I could.
That's all
Yeah.
the questions I've got.
Yeah.
I wasn't suggesting that you were
Yeah.
benefiting from any of this.
No,
Just looking
no.
for a more definitive timeline.
Yeah, yeah. So stretching it to mid-July, I think we can do it. And, we have some things in the works to get done just this week. And then, I said, teach me how to do stuff, get my hands in there. I'm happy to help and do whatever I can to make it happen. So,
Great. Okay, thanks, Annette. Is there a motion to approve Resolution 2026-13?
I'll make that motion to approve.
Thank you. Is there a
Thank you.
second?
Second.
All right. So we'll do another roll call. Benson?
Aye.
Mills?
Aye.
Shackleton?
Aye.
Bibi Gudiche?
Aye.
Anderson? Oh, Anderson's actually recused herself from this one.
That's right.
And Clissold is an aye, so motion passes.
Thank you, and thank you all for your understanding. I appreciate very much.
Thank you for your work on it. Sorry for the headaches.
Well, yeah, you know, it was a real winter, and we like a real winter.
Thank you for taking the time to come by and talk to
Yeah,
us, though.
thank
Really
you.
appreciate it.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the SBDC, and our new SBDC consultant, Rochelle Christensen, is here. So come on up, Rochelle. Perhaps you can give us an update on your onboarding with Northland, and we don't need to get into specifics of who you've met with client-wise, but just, you know, the number of meetings and just what's transpired so far.
Sure. So the onboarding process was a little slow due to my end, just wrapping up a very busy season at Skyport. But that time was good to learn my role and consume the information and do research. And already I have, I believe, 9 clients, and I've met with in person 2. I have another meeting tomorrow at 1. Doing a lot of help over the phone and email and just guiding folks. So far it's been new business assistance. There's one current business owner who just needed some resources and to talk some things through with me, but it is exciting for me that right now in the beginning, the bulk of the clients are new businesses to be in Cook County. So it's kind of fun to see like where the trend is going for this season and what's coming our way, and very excited entrepreneurs out there. But the Northland SBDC website is really helpful with all those tools and downloadable templates that I've been, you know, giving links to folks, and then it helps me guide my conversation. So it's actually been pretty busy.
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Any questions for Rochelle?
Oh, one. Are you still full-time owner of Skyport, or are you managing both at the same time? Is that the deal? Throughout the summer too?
Yeah. But I have new intention though, moving forward. I no longer will be in the restaurant in the
Okay.
evenings, and I'm promoting certain players to help assist me, so I can just continue to be more on an operational, like general manager level, be more present for my kids, and then have space for my role with SBDC. Finally, you know, after
Yeah.
10 years, I'm learning what this balance could look like.
Well, I'll miss seeing you at Burger Night, I can tell you.
Yes,
that.
I mean, I cannot like not be there, but I'll pass through and give some hugs, but I'm gonna go home.
Good.
So yeah, grateful to be here and nice to meet you. Thanks for
Pleasure.
our correspondence earlier.
Yeah, of course. It's such a pleasure, and we'll have to set aside some time to properly get introduced, and
Absolutely.
all of that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Great, well, thank you. But speaking of SBDC, so in the packet is a flyer for an event that SBDC is conducting on the 14th of May at Cook County Higher Ed. And this is regarding paid leave, which is, of course, the topic du jour for many businesses, but that might be a good resource for many. I might be mistaken, but I think this is now live on the EDA website.
And the chamber,
And the chamber, great, good.
because Michelle joined the chamber.
Yeah, okay, terrific. Okay, I'm just racing through this agenda. Committee and commissioner reports. The golf course committee. So as Mark mentioned, we did receive that $200,000, I'll call it a bridge loan, because it's just for a temporary period of time, from Cook County, thank you, to enable us to both operate the golf course during these months, but also to help us at closing in light of septic and irrigation. So Mark and I met, I think it was the 24th of March, if
It was just
memory
once, though, right?
serves. Sorry?
It was just once,
No, we met,
4 times.
yes, been very generous with your time over at Cook County. So, yeah, money's in the bank, so appreciate the support. The right of first refusal period is, we're in day, I think, 22 of 90, of up to 90. So we might get word from the Nelson family at any point that they either want the deal or more likely don't want the deal. As a reminder, from that point forward, then we've got 60 days to close, or the whole process starts all over again with the right of first refusal, 90 days, et cetera.
What day did you say? I missed that.
We're in day 22,
Oh, 22.
22 of 90. Mark and I and Siri, I think is gonna join us, have a meeting with Mike and the golf course on Friday to look at the options, especially as it relates to irrigation. It's becoming, in my view at least, and we haven't seen the numbers yet, but I think Mike is trying to ease us into the bathwater that this is gonna be bigger than Ben-Hur, and that's more than I think we're gonna be prepared to spend or able to spend to hook up to the water district. So we need to look at other options, although we still will get that number, and we can evaluate it. But we'll talk to Mike Larson about both irrigation and septic on Friday.
What are you saying about bigger than Ben-Hur?
The requirements to hook up to the water district are not as simple and rudimentary apparently as we
gotcha.
first thought.
Okay.
It's just more complicated. And
Gotcha.
of course, with that comes money and time, two things that we're not exactly flush with in the
Yeah.
golf course world. So. Any questions regarding, or what have I missed, Mark, regarding the golf course?
No, that's, the big meeting's on Friday to kind of figure out what the next plan is, step is, so.
Yeah.
And so, I sense a little bit of uncertainty on
Right, so,
making
yeah,
it.
the septic came in, it looks like it could double, that's the problem, so that's not gonna work. So then the other option is to go back to what our existing,
The intake from the lake.
right, and just see what it takes to fix it.
Right.
you know,
Okay.
And if that cost comes in reasonable, then that's likely gonna be the solution, so.
Yeah, the purchase agreement dictates that the irrigation be working. The purchase
Yeah.
agreement does not dictate that we hook it up to
Right.
the water district. So the solution is up to us. Of course, it has to be a robust solution.
And I also sensed a little bit of uncertainty as far as making it to the operations.
Well,
or-
that's okay, I mean, we just have to, the process, we need to have a solution, we have to deliver a solution to the buyer, right? So here's our solution, here's what it's gonna cost. We're off and running, maybe it starts June, maybe it starts July, maybe it finishes, who knows when, but as long as we have a concrete solution.
Yeah.
But Dave, I think, is asking about the cash flow.
Oh, yeah, so the cash flow, it's looking pretty like it's on. You know, if the golf course does open July 7th, July the 8th, that weekend, weather permitting.
Wait,
it
July
should-
7th?
I'm sorry, yeah, May, sorry.
May, okay.
Yeah, so as long as they open in May,
Yep.
as prognosticated,
Okay.
we should be all right,
Okay.
you know, so.
Okay, thank you.
yeah.
I mean, at this stage, the later the closing goes, it's actually to our benefit.
Oh, yeah.
We're starting to
It
get
does,
into the
yeah.
black here a little bit.
Worst case would be no golf season starting and it's a late May and there's no revenue, right?
Yeah.
So it looks like it's not gonna happen, so far so good.
There's wood back there.
Yeah.
Our desire to return to the county with our hand out again,
Yeah. Wonderful.
infinitesimal.
I think that was written in. It can't, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the golf course. Taconite Harbor, I don't know to what degree you all have been going on to the EDA website, the Taconite Harbor subsection. A lot of material there, especially that last meeting, which shows the two visions coming to life on a bit of a picture board. Our next meeting is tomorrow, where we'll get into implementation. I don't know to what degree we're gonna have any sort of robust implementation plan through this process, because we don't know what we don't know, but that's the focus of our next meeting. That'll be, if not the last meeting, the next to last meeting. We're getting down to the wire here, so following that, the advisory committee, I don't think all of it, will present findings to this body.
Well, just a little update for you. We got a preview today. So Siri and Dave and I met with them. They wanted to get us somewhat up to speed and just kind of close it out, summarize. So we did get to see part of those pieces that they have ready to go for your open house piece, whatever. And they did mention that was really great that participants would be presenting that, which is a really good idea. We really like that. So yeah, we had a little glimpse of that and some potential dates for
Mm, good.
that, so that was all good. Do you have anything else, Dave?
Yeah, it sounds like they would like to present to the EDA on June 16th. They're hoping to present to the public before that, perhaps earlier June, or it might work out best just to do it the day before.
Present to the public in what?
An open house
An open house. Okay.
for the community, the entire community, to give
Got it.
feedback on
Oh, I see,
the
okay.
process and the options and that sort of thing.
Okay.
And then summarize that and bring it to this board on the 16th. And, yeah. There might be an extension request
Yeah.
for the grant. Just, it shouldn't be a problem. Might be a little close if they don't, so it's kind of like, well, why don't you, maybe we should do that,
Oh,
but.
when does the grant,
The end of June.
end of June? Okay.
So it was just, if they do that in the middle of the month and they have some final notes and all things put together and final billing, and I would assume that Carla would be supportive of that.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
invitation for that meeting would include someone from DEED, very possibly her, and then IRRR as well.
Okay, great.
Open house.
And as far as like implementation is concerned, it sounds like it's good to look into it, but nothing can be done really unless there's a transfer in ownership. And that conversation hasn't really gone anywhere at this point, and we maybe just want to wrap this process up and
Yeah.
then look at
I
next
mean,
steps.
it might be nice to talk about, at a very high level, what the key implementation blocks
Yeah.
look like, because I
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to recite them.
Right.
But in terms of having some implementation plan specific to taconite, that might be, we were way over our skis on that, I would think, but we'll see.
Yeah. The only other feedback I gave at our little meeting just a bit ago was just asking about any education opportunities as far as institutions, a trade or tech school, and if that was brought up. And it sounded like it wasn't really touched on, so that
No.
surprised me a little bit. I think there could be some opportunity there. But I really, liked the report that they gave as far as the participation and the creativity and the diversity. The kind of high-level bubble drawings didn't strike me in any particular way, and nothing to get too excited about there, but it's neat to see possibilities, I guess.
Sure. Anytime you're gonna get 15 people together on an advisory committee, there'll be a third that's very vocal and a third in the middle and a quiet third. We probably had that. But I mean, generally speaking, I think people were engaged and constructive.
Well, that's a good point. So before we started this conversation today, one of the things they wanted to say was what a great group of people had been put together. And they thought that a lot of interesting and very productive conversations, and people were just really good working together,
Yeah.
even though there's all sorts of different viewpoints and thoughts, but
Yeah.
very positive about the group and what they've accomplished. So.
Yeah, I'd say they weren't just saying that. I mean, that was certainly the vibe. So, good.
Were there other topics you wanted to touch on, or concerns, or?
No, we
Okay.
can wait till later for whatever, right? I mean, this is a high level, I think it was just a nice summary back to our initial committee, just to
Okay.
kind of say, where we're at in the final steps and all of that. And then, yeah, well, later when we can all sit together and digest everything. And we have to remember, this was never meant to be a shovel-ready. It was just to have concepts and ideas and
Yep.
maybe something to take on for a next level project. And we've always been aware that we don't own the property, and until something like that happens. Though there were a couple things that caught me as very different with Minnesota Power's response and when we met with them in 2023.
Right, and
But
yeah,
whatever.
that's a
So.
different,
Ownership change that
right,
resulted in that?
it's probably part of it.
Okay.
So thanks you guys for,
If-
or you for doing all
Sure.
that.
Can't think of a better thing to do with my Wednesday nights. Okay,
Can I, just as a point
Please.
of order quickly, we will be filing an extension on the
Oh,
grant,
thank
even if
you.
they don't need it. Teresa and I talked after that meeting, just so that you guys know, it's not a question of if we will, we will.
Good,
And I presume Deed will be okay with it, but,
yeah.
just to make sure we're safe.
Thank you. That's-
There's no sense them rushing their final report and material just for
unnecessarily,
that.
yeah.
They should have the time to do what they need to do.
Okay. Next up is the Grant Review Committee. Anything to share, Alex?
Simply that we're lined up and scheduled for the next deadline and review cycle with
May
meetings.
the 4th?
May 6th, I think.
Something like that?
Yeah, so we
Okay.
have 2 meetings kind of
6 and
scheduled
12. Or
for
is it
that.
12 and 22? I don't remember.
12 and 22, you're
Yeah,
right.
12 and 22.
Hopefully it's written down somewhere, right?
Okay.
So that's it. Lucas is gonna join us for that to fully, observe and participate in the process, and, that's all I got.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that the last one? Is that the third one?
This is the second one.
There'll be 3.
I was looking at the balances for the 2026. Was that available? Did I read that wrong? Versus,
The first tranche was 100,
Right.
so half of it's in the first third.
Could have been looking at 25s. Stuff.
26 out of the first 100,000, we distributed 86 or
Yeah,
80
something like that.
87, and that'll roll over to this May 6th deadline.
So that'd be like
And join the,
63 something.
yeah, the 50,000 that's been set aside for that period.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
One more note though is,
Yep.
I don't know where, I haven't listened to the radio in a little bit, but are we still participating in underwriting with WTIP?
We are, yeah.
So this might be a good time if we have a few weeks, couple weeks before this, not even a couple, but if, it's probably too late to squeak in a business development fund grant message.
No, it's not too late at all. I mean, we can change it on a dime. There's 2 messages that have currently been developed, and others can be developed as necessary, but one of them is exactly that.
Yeah.
And the other one is regarding SBDC.
Sure.
And I have to admit, I don't know which one is currently running.
I have read the grant program
Oh, good.
multiple times.
Okay,
That's
good.
the one that's running. then.
Got it.
Okay.
Well, then we're good. Yeah, it sounds like we're
Okay,
where we need to be.
good, thank you. Anything from the HR committee,
Well, we hired our executive
other
director.
than patting yourselves on the back? It's such a great hire.
Do a victory lap.
So we teleported him here.
Awesome. Finance committee, so there's been some initial discussion on this, and this actually relates to our conversations with the Cook County commissioners. And so, our budget planning process, which will go to this board in June, will kick off shortly. And one of the things we want to do is put together a kind of a clear but robust argument on why EDA. Here's the budget supported by the levy. Here is the money brought in by the EDA year on year on year. Because I don't believe there's really a fully shared awareness on the return. So,
Not at all. And Mary Somnus had put together something like that in the past and presented it. I don't know where that would be.
Yeah.
I think Mike Larson maybe did too, or?
I had it.
Or you had it? Okay.
I have it, and I forwarded it to Teresa and
Okay.
Peter.
Yeah.
So we're putting this information together for
Okay.
that budget.
Awesome.
Yeah, so.
Because I think it's
Including
gonna, I'm sorry.
sorry, go ahead. Including
No, you
what I
go.
would call the gold-plated money, which is to say money that wouldn't come here through any other channel if there wasn't an EDA, literally if there wasn't an
Right.
EDA.
Yeah.
So I think that we'll spend some time on that, I think a good argument.
And my memory of that information is once it's laid out, it's a no-brainer,
I think
but
we're
there's
pretty
so much
compelling. Yeah.
skepticism
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
it's important to go over
Right.
it, so, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a quantitative argument there. I think there's also a qualitative argument. And we'll have to include, we'll benefit from including the local business development fund, which, I recognize is gonna be a little bit more difficult in terms of documenting and demonstrating, tangible ROIs in every case. But when we fight for the budget, that's a hugely important part of it.
Yeah, and I think it's a particularly
Yes.
delicate item too, as far as the county board is concerned. Not that there wouldn't be enough support, but just that I feel like that's under more fire than other aspects, so. But I stand by it 100%.
Sure. And, something we've discussed previously, and I can see it coming to life in a presentation to the commissioners, would include, among other things, in-person testimonials from small business owners who have been able to flourish as a result of the program. And having someone sit, right in the chambers, giving that argument can be pretty compelling, I think. Not that we would rely on that exclusively, but that can be part of the program.
Yeah,
Well, I think the budget they get the budget in June, but they don't really, it's not gonna be like presented and talked about until October, right? Is that usually how it works?
well, we have to pass our preliminary levy September.
Okay.
And so, I'd say as soon as it's presented, it's gonna be talked about, but
Like when would that opportunity that Peter's describing,
when is that
happen?
passed? Yeah. Before September, I would say.
Yeah. I gathered from some of the discussions around this last year's budget that a couple of the commissioners wanted to maybe get into that June to September period and not get into the weeds a little bit
Yeah,
further and quicker.
yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. But
What I was,
No, go, I'll follow up with you.
well, what I was gonna say is, I'm also picking up on sensitivity to emotional decisions, and so when you bring in, and I think it's important absolutely to bring people in that are willing to speak to that. That is, of course, a part of that emotional factor. But even just letters of support, if you've got a pack of letters, I think that could do a lot of good. So, but both and, more the merrier.
So the stories that get spoken need to have the numbers as part of their story, right?
Mhm.
Like where was my business and where is it now, or what has it done, whatever.
Yeah.
What we've
Alex?
So this is related for sure, but something that the grant committee's talked about, the HR committee's talked about is how we can bolster, improve, promote like this organization and what it does. And so to that end, the budget proposal that we'll submit can be supported maybe more effectively by Lucas getting out and connecting with current and past grantees. And we talked about building relationships and kind of, using our contracts to formalize the process, but there's so much more we can be doing in connecting with people that have been recipients of that fund. So while we're organizing the numbers and the return on investment to prepare a presentation to the commission, we should also be promoting ourselves in the community. Because at the end of the day, business owners have been recipients, have received these funds, are going to be a tremendous support with letters and et cetera, which we're all talking about, but buy-in from other people in the community, other taxpayers, to see that this is how this fund is being used and this is a success is just as important and will, I think, lend to that common goal. So we talked about how we can develop the executive director role and expand business development resources, et cetera, but a large part of that is getting out in the community and promoting our program to the people that fund it. Not the commissioners, but the taxpayers directly is what we're getting at. So.
If I can add to that, I completely agree with what you're saying. I think that those types of relationships are also going to be really crucial in getting any kind of quantitative data.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that Teresa and I have discussed is how do you actually get the data a year out, 2 years out? And the challenge, of course, is that once the business owner has the money, there's no other carrot for them to give you anything, right? And you could write it into your grant agreement that they have to give you that information, but ultimately they're probably going to ignore you unless you have a good relationship, I guess is my point. Mm-hmm. And so I think that I agree with you, and I agree that by doing that, not only are you strengthening the program, getting a better sense of the support in the community, but you're actually potentially using that as an engine to drive forth the data collection that also, it's a virtuous cycle, I guess is my point. So, I agree.
And are most grant recipients also have they benefit or currently are with the SBDC? So we wanna leverage that
Right.
connection too to get this information and
If it's there, yeah, I don't
Identify
know
the
that, I
people.
don't have that perspective.
businesses.
Well, and even if we can, I think a part of the skepticism is a philosophical one. And so if we can show other communities or even just show the theory, I think that could do a lot of good too. So maybe that's
Right.
too heavy of a lift and I'm talking too much, but.
No, I don't think so. Okay. Any other items from commissioners?
Is everyone going to the, 5
Sustainability,
o'clock?
sustainability over at
Mhm.
Studio 21.
This anonymous for that?
Oh yeah, I assumed I'd miss it because of timing, but no.
You aren't, was that a nope, I'm not going? I
It's a
thought
nope,
you
I'm not
could-
I
missing.
wasn't planning it because I didn't know how long this was gonna be.
Yeah,
Right.
Right. But,
maybe I will.
I
But we didn't
decided
post
you'd be
for it.
First in line.
Oh.
No.
No, I'm gonna go home and have some hot water with lemon. Take care of it.
There's other
what is that called?
people
Is there a name
named
for that?
Peter are having the same issues
Oh, is
as
that
you
right?
are, with the same.
Yeah, okay. Wonder who that would be. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so is there a motion to adjourn the April 21st, 2026 meeting at 4:47 PM?
Motion?
And is there a second?
Second.
All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you. We'll see everyone Tuesday, May the 19th.